Hey, good day YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for checking in with us. So today we got something a little different. I don't even know if any current viewers have ever seen this before. I haven't talked about this subject in, probably 4 years. Maybe less, maybe a little bit more, 4.5. But stacking precious metals, SHTF prep plus investment, etc., etc. When I sent the package off to You Can Do It, and he didn't know I was commenting on some of his videos. He just did a couple. But really, a lot of people haven't seen my progression, I guess, or what I used to have as a progression on my stacking, for lack of a better word. I like to call it security investments, or or hedging against inflation's another word, all those things. But in particular here is what I would call my SHTF prep side of it. I've got investment metals that are purely numismatic, purely based upon possible, rarity, things like that. And this is my go-to for if I got to get out of town because things are bad. This is what I'm taking. And so I kind of did a variety, and I wanted to share kind of with that my logic that I've talked about previously. But a lot of new viewers, a lot of new things have changed, a lot of things have happened, but kind of where I'm at, and just my methodology about why I did what I did. I keep a tally. I keep a piece of paper and a pencil handy so I can keep track, because I'm getting old and can't remember things. But I wanted to do a wide variety in this case, because it is portable. But obviously I can break everything down and take it and pull things out to distribute amongst the family if I needed to, or as payment or whatever. They're in predetermined cases or whatnot. But right off the top, I got some gold. It's all fractional. The primary thought here was really, if I needed to insert a piece of gold into a piece of clothing, into a seam, into a belt, I'd be able to do that. And there's one plus for every member of the family. But I also included, as a part of that thought process, Chinese fractional rounds. As you can see, 2014, so it's been 14 years. I may have bought that in 15, actually, who knows. But Chinese invasion, you never know. There's always that potential, and that was one of the thought processes behind that. They value gold much, zoom in there. They value gold and things like that much better than we do. And if it's determined to get to me and across the country, those could come in very handy. A lot of wealth in a small package, easily hid, much easier to move around with. But obviously I'm not money bags, but I wanted to get into silver because I could afford it. But really a lot of this, so I'd take this section right here is my, you've seen the Zombucks collection from who was it? I can't remember now. Provident Metals. They had this zombie theme that they had going on. So that's just what I keep it stored in here, and it would be in here if I grabbed it. But it's not necessarily a part of that, but it just happens to be in here. But they did those for several years, and they did themes on a lot of modern coins. You see, that's 2017. I guess that's the last time I probably bought any silver. Wow, was that only last year? It seems like a lot longer ago than that. But this is called the Morgue Ann was their theme for it, and they had a bunch of different ones. They all came with the biohazard thing, but those are just in here, kind of. This is where I keep them stored. And they also had copper complements as well in this biohazard bag. That was kind of a cool thing, but some easy way to get partially numismatic, partially collector's value to go in. I have some copper rounds that fill up a little bit of space as well. Who knows what if those will ever be worth anything major or not, but you never know. You can always melt them down and use them for copper wire or whatever. They're very good conductors of electricity, if you know what I'm saying, to make a trigger or something switch. There's always that potential. Zoom in there. Always that potential in the long run. for your own use. It's the good thing about things made of metal. And there's also the round that I gave out for the contest was like this, or for the giveaway I should say. It wasn't a contest, it was a giveaway, appreciation giveaway. Was this copper round right there. Man, that's hard to focus, isn't it? But I really like this one. I just don't have I didn't have enough to go around in the giveaway, but I really like this version that I have. But anyway, getting off the subject, I started talking about all the pretty shiny things. So what I tried to get in here is a variety of silver. I have American Eagles. You can see by the green tops, if you're not familiar, the green mint case. I haven't tried to fool myself by putting something different, but so I have American Eagles. I have just bars, generic bars, stowed away in there. Some generic rounds. These are Indian head, I believe. The Buffalo nickel variant Indian head round of silver. What you would call generic rounds. Another consideration, the Mexican, what do they call these things? I forgot what they call them. But the Mexican silver coin. I figure if you're going to be going to Mexico bugging out or something, having a round of silver might come in handy. Another generic Austrian, so another sovereign mint, the Austrian Philharmonics. Again, depending on who you're dealing with, might know one coin better than the other. It might be better to have a variety, so that's kind of the theme behind that, plus just having a total number of ounces for whatever use and purpose. American Eagles. Now these are just Ben Franklin's. American coinage, what they call constitutional silver. It is already a recognized currency, so it's already got its regular value plus silver value. So this is full of $half silver $half ready to go. And that's, so they got constitutional money, which, I mean, this thing's having a hard time focusing, isn't it? Constitutional money being that's what's already been coined. We got some more quarters down here like that. And these are kind of more worn versions. The Franklins are more high quality ones. These are what people call junk silver. So I have those encased. They're worth a quarter value plus. Anybody that knows they're from 63 or before knows that they're worth more than what's on them. Another thing of quarters right there. Some small 1 ounce bars just taking up space since I had the room. Some more bars that I can stow in there. The heavy duty 10 ounce bars that I can stow away and have. I got 3 of those, so that's 30 ounces right there, just ready to go. And that's kind of the breakdown. And then I got Canadian silver. Opposite thinking, if I had to bug out to Canada. I go see Biker Bob, Hoople's cat, people like that, and trading my maple leafs. And these are, what are we looking at here? Is the year on the other side? Year might be on the other side. I really like this Canadian stuff. I really like the wildlife series they did. I got a lot of that in my numismatic collection. I got a lot of the wildlife in my numismatic collection. But the worst thing about the Canadians is they got that woman right there on them. Can't stand it. Oh, so these are 2014s. And I got 2 sleeves, and the Canadian sleeves come in 25s. American and other mints. American and other mints come in 20. Thus the longer sleeve. Something to take note of. So, I don't know, it's kind of something to show the way I plan my variety, thinking of all the different scenarios and mentions. I do have some varied rounds in this sleeve also, with some fractional, and also have one other fractional piece in here. The Vilcambi bars came out a few years ago, and they break down to where you can break off a gram. Again, it's just like kind of like the gold principle. It's easily to break those off and hide them and put them away where hopefully they won't be found. But in end all be all, if you had to, you could always swallow them probably with the gold and that. It's hyperallergenic, right? So in this sleeve, Merc dimes. So again, constitutional silver dimes to for somebody that understands what they're looking at, but also that they are a minted silver used for currency anyway. I got some fractional Mexican. Has this been too long since I've talked about these? Fractional stuff there. Even the tiny ones. What is this, 1/10? 1/10 an ounce. I think this is one of the first things I got, and it was for the kids. Man, focus. So yeah, that's 1/10, 1/4, and on up. So then I just got a series of generic rounds that I can take along, and I can add to this in the future should I decide to add to this bug out collection, I guess you'd say. This would be my bug out stash, for lack of a better word. So that's kind of a breakdown on some precious metals, and just to send that shout out to You Can Do It. Thanks for entering the giveaway. Hope you enjoyed everything, or will enjoy everything you got. I put it to some use. So just a variety of things that people could possibly recognize or have interest in if you went to a barter situation. That's what I was thinking I would want, is something that everybody, hey, I like that coin right there, or I like the American, or I understand the Canadian, or I just like the generic bars or the generic rounds. You never know who you're dealing with. And the gold is really the ultimate of SHTF. If I needed it, I think that is my worst of the worst situation. That's going to be the go-to when the hordes have overrun us and we're moving to get away from the Chinese invading army or whatever. The gold is going to have the most possible practical use in my mind. So that's there. And so if I take the whole thing or not, or I take it and I distribute it as quickly as possible, because I know if you're carrying this thing around and you go through some checkpoint, this isn't going to last very long. So you're going to have to distribute what you got when you can to use it when you need it. Unless this can get you that first checkpoint alive, you never know. It might take that. It might take, all of that to get you through that checkpoint. We got over here a few other types around. Oh, that's more. Okay, yeah. So that's the breakdown, folks. Just to show something I haven't done in a long time and talk about the old stuff. Live free.